do in order to be considered a star? A star has to be like you. Oh, thank you. Hello, I am Batman. I'm not even that smart. Thank you. So a star, and the clue is, by the way, we talked about no, 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 no. No. So no, it's not as difficult. It's actually simple, Stephen. So remember, so what is our sun doing? And also remember, when a star dies, a stellar remnant is one of three things: white dwarf, neutron star, black hole. And remember what happens to make a star die? What happens? There will be an explosion, correct? I'm Batman said explosion. Yes. When a star is dying, it explodes. Sometimes that is called a supernova or even a hypernova if it's a very big supernova. But why will it runs out of, yes, it runs out of nuclear power. So basically, exactly. So it doesn't have to be hydrogen, because if it can burn other things, then it can do that as well for stars that are burning other things to make even more heavier elements. But yes, absolutely. So a star is gonna die due to a collapse, which leads to an explosion, which may be called a supernova. So those are the details of a star's death. But the main reason why a star will die is when it runs out of nuclear power. If it's not burning things to make other heavier elements, because it's supported by, those interactions are supported by nuclear physics, if it stops doing that enough, then it collapses under its own gravitation, and that collapse basically leads to these massive explosions, and you might get a supernova, and the star will die. And the stellar remnant, of course, depending on the star's mass, could either be a white dwarf or a neutron star or a black hole, which are all examples of dead stars, or the death remnant of a star. Its own gravity will kill the stars. Exactly. Its own gravity will kill the stars. So that means for something to be considered a star, like our sun, if you're calling something a failed sun, that is star-like, right? But what does our sun do? Why didn't we call Jupiter a star, right? What does our sun do particularly that it's a sun, or it's considered a star, which maybe Jupiter doesn't do? We will see what Jupiter does. But the most important thing that the sun does is, of course, it's burning. It's converting hydrogen to helium. It's doing a bunch of nuclear physics, and that's how it is burning, and it is radiating, and all this energy is coming out of the sun, and that's how we're alive. We get heat and light from the sun because of its nuclear power, because it converts hydrogen to helium. It is burning hydrogen and making helium. So if our sun stops doing that, and yes, that's true, we will get into that. If our sun stops doing that because it runs out of that power, then we will actually be in trouble. So now we'll read about what Jupiter does, because Jupiter is also very interesting. So if you're interested in the elements and the origin of elements, I actually talk about that in my life called, I believe I called it Big Bang Nucleosynthesis. And we talked about what were the elements that were made in the Big Bang of the universe. So what did the universe kind of start with? It was mainly hydrogen and a little bit of helium and trace amounts of lithium that started off in the early universe. And then every element heavier than that is made in stars. Okay, that's how we get elements in the universe. Okay, I am Batman. So, yes. So many lives ago, if you go back, if